4 games, 4 defeats, 0 points, 1 goal scored. So the fan base have turned toxic. Listen to the effing fans for a change. Most useless, gutless and spineless performance of manager since David Weir. Get him out now. And that was one of the nicer tweets that we could find to start this week's show. Welcome back to 20 minutes of Blades chat. The main thing we're talking about is when and if are we going to get that photograph of the corner post this week. We're also talking about the brilliance of Tanganga, and it could have been more at the Borough if it wasn't for him. Plus, there's lots of in-the-know accounts popping up discussing lots of untruths about players moving on. What do we think to all that? And we're talking the third kit as well. Is it in your favourites? So our panel are assembled. Thank you very much for joining us. We're trying to get to 700 subs by the end of this particular month. That'd be amazing if you can help us get there. If you're not coming across the account, I'm Mark, I'm a neutral, and here 3 very, very angry Blades fans. Shax, it's not a case of should he go now, it's when should he go, and will he?
He's got to, mate. He should have gone straight after that full-time listen at Middlesbrough. You asked me a couple of weeks ago, am I sellers in it? Sellers are. I said in. I wanted to give him benefit of doubt. I don't think Board helped him in them first couple of games with transfers, but he's lost plot, mate. It's too big a job for him. He seems a nice bloke. I'm sure he is a lovely bloke, but he's just, unfortunately, he's doing a job that he's just not qualified to do, and it don't matter how good our players are, he can't put me in right positions. It's just not going to work, is it? It's pointless even trying now. I mean, with 5 games, 5 defeats, let's not forget that cup game. And it's everything's wrong. Fans have turned, atmosphere on ground, it's horrible. There's just no players. You see them there with their heads down. There's just no. There ain't any positives. There's not a glimmer of light. There's no light under a tunnel. It's just depressing. It's just sad, and it all boils down to one man now, I'm afraid, and that's Sellers.
Cheers for that. I mean, Con, I know you've lost key players defensively, but I can't remember watching a side that's gone from being such a strong unit to being one in that first half against Borough, being cut open so many times, especially down Burrows' side as well. This week here, Ryan says, I'm afraid it's clear to see the players have no direction. They've lost their faith and serve the fans. He has to go, admit the F up, and stop the free fall. I mean, it's laughable to other fans, but this isn't funny anymore, is it? This is very worrying.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just looking at the performance every week, other than maybe the first half against Bristol City, we looked like a team that wanted to sort of attack and go for it. Ever since then, to say he's meant to be all about this attacking style of play, I'm still not really sure what this Sellers ball's meant to be honest. We don't seem to attack, we don't seem to defend, we don't have a midfield. And it's not for a lack of quality. I mean, you look at the squad on paper, we should be up there at top competing. So then it boils down to Sellers. I mean, what other thing could it possibly be? Chris Wilder had the core of these players getting 90-odd points last season, the most we've ever had in the Championship. And then we've gone to players look like they don't want to play. I mean, you've got Campbell walking around pitch all the time, and Aware and Gus, that's such a good link together. And there's not a single player on that pitch that could have held the red up, bar Tanganga. And it just doesn't seem to improve every week. But then at the same time, you've got to put a bit of blame on players as well. No matter what manager you get in, how clueless they can be, they're professional footballers at the end of the day. They're getting paid thousands of pounds to go and play football. And they don't even look like they want to press. I mean, it's meant to be a pressing style of play that we've got, and we press as a team. And it's just odd player here and there running after each other. And you press as a team, you don't press at all, because then they're just going to work round us, go through gaps. I mean, how many times, like you said, Mark, you saw Middlesbrough players, every time they went forward, we had 2 at back. Tanganga, every time, it seemed to be rolling at one there most of the time. Bindon, again, he looks like League One at best. I don't like to criticise young lads too much, but I feel he needs to be taken out of the team. I think there's just nothing right at the moment, and it is a real worry.
Yeah. And the stats back it up as well. We don't like jumping on players' backs or managers' backs, but Dan, the shots on target, even shots in particular, in these games are woeful. John says that was short-lived. See you, sellers. Absolutely unacceptable to lose 5 on the bounce with this squad. Getting gone now before our season is over. We missed you last week, so we've not had a chance to ask you. What's your take on? Because you were giving him a chance, weren't you? Though much like Shaq's 2 weeks ago. Where are you now?
Yeah, I think it's gone beyond that stage of giving him a chance. I mean, something's happened in the last week to 10 days with the signings. I genuinely don't believe there is. I believe there's another party pulling them strings, because there's no way you'd go and play for that man. And no disrespect to him, you know, he's come in, he's tried to do a job, he's massively out of his depth, him and his coaching staff. They've never kicked a ball professionally in their lives, even semi-pro. That's the most worrying for me. When you bring a manager in sometimes who's got no footballing background, he's got people with him that have. And these, it's like you're plucking 3 lads from grassroots. So I include myself in that, and who have never, you can't tell them professional footballers what to do, how to play, because it just don't work. It don't work like that. He's got a brother. The sad thing is, it's so close to the window, the transfer window, so close to the international break. It's quite easy to say, well, go. But if you've got 3 or 4 players lined up, that could change. That could change. So I think it's one of them for me. It's, you get tomorrow out of the way, you analyse it, but I genuinely think the board will stick with him until probably Ipswich. And then look at that. You can see, I mean, the 11 that we put out, even the bench, that's good enough to beat anybody in our league. Absolutely anybody, that 11. I looked at that and thought, under another manager, you're going to Middlesbrough, you're getting 3 points, let alone 1. And even bringing them subs on, it was just, I don't know, there were players trying to get sent off. I don't understand it, but that's because they don't want to play for him. And then right at the end, they've gone over to the supporters, and every single one of them players have chucked him straight under a bus because he's gone over there in front of it out, and they're all stood clapping in the background. Don't sit right with me, that, regardless of how crap he is. Don't sit right with me as a professional. You can't do that, but that's where we are. For me, he's got to go. That's the only way forward. But what's the board's alternative on it? Because I don't know. They're not. All these people coming out saying owners have got to go. Really? Are we going to have this debate now? Or are we going to have it tomorrow? I'll have it with anybody. Really? Owners have got to go.
Yeah.
I find that bizarre. They've made a mistake, a massive mistake. Somebody's advised them wrong, and I genuinely believe that advisor is no longer there. But we'll see. But he has to go for the best of the team, the fan base.
Yeah, and that squad potentially still might get added to before we've even finished this conversation. Obviously on Monday night as well. It's a bit disrespectful, Sheks, to talk about managers coming in. Should he get the boot? But we have to reflect what the fan base are talking about. That's what we do here. We don't try and make things up. We're trying to just bring what people are talking about. Sean Dyche's name seems to be up there, along with Chris Wilder. And can we just address the Chris Wilder noise as well? It was said in this tweet here. Alana says, "Stop living in the past. It's embarrassing. We're Sheffield United. We're not Chris Wilder FC. Bring in Sean Dyche." Callum says, "Foreign managers don't just work for Blades. Struggled with the last one, struggling with the current one. Steve Cooper or Dyche in to give them the kick up the backside and get a team that play for them." And as an Everton fan myself, I'll tell you, I think if you get Sean Dyche in to manage you, you'll be promoted. Thoughts?
Not for me. I'm not. No, I've got mates that are Everton fans as well that say complete opposite to that. I don't want to go to that. To me, if you're going to get Dyche, you might as well get Wilder, because I think Wilder's just a better version of Dyche. I watched a bit of Everton because they signed Illiman and Dye, and he made Ndai look. Somehow we managed to make Ndai look crap. He played him at right wing back or whatever he was. So he had a bit of he had success with Burnley, playing that stubborn, horrible football, which is probably what we need right now. But do we need that 10, 15, 20 games? Do we need that next season? No, not for me. So if you're going to go with a manager, then we need a manager that's progressive, that's front foot, that's exciting. Otherwise, everything we've done's pointless. But I get why fans would want Dyche, but not for me. You might as well get Wilder back if you're going to go down Dyche rule. I don't want to see Gary O'Neill either. I've heard that name bandied about. I mean, we had a question last year, and you asked me who's done a good job who's done a brilliant job in Championship, good managers, and my answer was Danny Rowe. And I remember a few eyebrows got raised, but to me, he's took Wednesday from pretty much exact scenario that we're in now. Bottom of the league, he's got to keep you up, and he's got to play attractive football. And I do believe if Rowe were backed going into January last year, they'd have been in playoffs. It's only because they didn't get no money spent in January that they didn't progress from 7th, 8th, 9th into 6th, 5th, 4th. You know what I mean? So that would be my pick, but that might be controversial, but that's who I'd pick.
God, I can hear the comments burning now, Shex, on that comment. Connor, I mean, I know it's people will be saying, "Look, why are you talking about this?" Even though he's not been sacked yet, but it's coming, isn't it? It's if it doesn't happen this week, it'll happen after Ipswich or after Preston.
Yeah, I think it's bound to happen. I think if it doesn't happen now in the international break, fair dues, we give him a chance, a couple of weeks to maybe drill in what he needs to into the players. But at the end of the day, Ipswich, regardless if we start playing good or not, it's going to be difficult to go there, and it could potentially be 6 games in, including the cup, and 6 defeats. I mean, in names, I agree with Shax. I wouldn't want Gary O'Neill at United. Everywhere he seems to go, they seem to do a lot better after he goes. There's a lot of names, Steve Cooper, Sean Dyche. Obviously, a lot of fans want Wilder back. At this moment, I'll take anyone. I'd take Neil Warnock back at this point. Just someone that can motivate them players. You need a man motivator, because you can see at the minute the confidence is just blown with the players, and the biggest thing in football is confidence. You could have a really poor quality player, if they're full of confidence, sometimes they can do the extraordinary sort of thing. So for me, it's just getting the right man in, and there's a few out there, so I'm open to bringing someone in, just not someone that's Ruben Sellers.
Okay. Let's move on the conversation then to something a little bit more positive. Dan, Chris says, thank Christ we signed Tanganga, otherwise that would have been 5 or 6-0. Men versus boys throughout, could have carried on, carrying that game to the international break, and we still wouldn't have scored. Yeah, he was absolutely immense. As I mentioned, he's in my fantasy football team and remains there. I think this is going to be one of the signings of the summer. I think 10 million is an absolute steal. I know Millwall think they've had your pants down, but yeah, he's going to be... He just needs somebody on the other side now, doesn't he, doing the same job?
Fabulous signing, fabulous player. I'm very surprised that one of the lower end Premier League teams didn't sign him on that release clause of 1.2 million and have him as a squad player. But yeah, he were really good at the weekend. I think having him there, and an addition like Ben Godfrey as well, it's going to be better for us down the line when the new manager does come in. But I think it's to pay that for him, and yeah, it's good money. I think it's worth it, even with that. You can see it in that one game. He's come in and he's been brilliant, and yeah, I think he's definitely going to be one of the top defenders that we've signed in recent years, to be honest. And we have had quite a few good ones.
Yeah, I predict now we get more Man of the Match awards than anyone else in that club. Although a little thing's been happening in the last couple of weeks as well. I'm sure some of you have noticed this as well. Hamer was announced before the game that he was going to be playing for Leeds versus Newcastle from some accounts. Nathan said it's mad that people thought we'd actually lose Hamer. We lost to him, more so Sunderland's winner. But there's also been all kinds of rumours around Blades players, checks with these in-the-know accounts. Now, as a podcasters, ourselves, I'm not here to kind of denigrate any particular podcaster, but these in-the-know accounts that seem to be set up sometimes by anonymous fans. Are we getting a little sick of them?
They're just there's a saying in Sheffield, and it's called "knows no" or "knows now," and that's the Sheffield way to pronounce it. And "in the know" translates in Sheffield to "knows no." Some of them rumours that I see, they're just laughable. I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, I mean, I'd have to write them down, but just off the top of my head, Arblaster, he's out something weird. That took Arblaster himself to reply to tweet and put, somebody should tell me. Amer's signed for PSV, he's signed for Leeds, he's signed for Trabzonspor. Burrows is going to West Ham. Cooper's going to West Ham. Peck's already signed for Brentford. Tyrese Campbell signed for Everton. And it's just constant. It's either a small child that's doing it, like like an 11, 12-year-old kid, or it's just a grown man that's got like, I don't know, something wrong with him, some sort of issues. Because what would make you sit there and just think of just a complete lie, like, and then try and pass it off as well. So, and I don't know if somebody is actually telling him that, but whoever it is that's telling him that, when it doesn't happen, surely you'd just stop listening to him. You know what I mean? Like, if you watched the weather forecast and then he said it was going to snow and then it was 30 degrees, and then next day he said it was going to be 30 degrees and it snowed, I think third, fourth, fifth day, you'd just stop watching that weather forecast. But these same accounts seem to just keep coming, and then I tap into that conversation, so I see it, and then you scroll down your comments, and then the same names, I'm going to name them on here because like I'm not that childish, but you know who you are. And them same names, so somebody will say, "Oh, where have you got that from?" And they're talking about it in this chat, and it's like, how many times does that chat have to be wrong before you all get your brain cells together and you think the guy's just talking? Do you know what I mean? He's just mumbling utter nonsense, and you're all falling for it. But like I said, I don't know. Every single member of our squad just about has been linked, and it's how they start. Oh, I've got a very credible source. What sauce is that? Like brown sauce, tomato sauce? You know what I mean? Mayonnaise? Because it's not a source as in you know anybody, because it never actually happens. It's just embarrassing. I don't know if Connor and Dan see it like I see it, but I've got to a point now where I just don't even listen to any of them because it's just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. Like, I've got it from a very good source that the Amer's already at Leeds, he's already signed, it's done. Then he's our captain. You know what I mean? Our admin, the United admin, putting pictures of Amer on. They've got you on strings, mate. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at you by putting them pictures, and you're still going to do it. Just grow up.
Dan?
The thing is, it's all for subscribers. It's all for extra subscribers. We need this, and there's that many puppets that believe it and that feed it back. It's quite scary when there's genuine people that do know what's going off. And I think because there's maybe another podcast in an area close by where they're worried about, they've just got to, make these extra lies up for people to believe them. But I just don't get it. I look at it and I laugh, and like Shaq says, they've got them on strings because it's not going to happen. I know Friday morning I was down at the ground getting something from Club Shop, and I saw the team bus going. So we're on it. You know what I mean? It's like it's mental. It's crazy what people come out with, and I don't know. I don't know why they do it. It's just, like I say, it's desperation. But as Shaq said, the person who's doing it knows who's doing it, and you know what? It's people that believe it still now. People that believe it, and I just laugh me because it's like anything. You're going to get it right. It's like a broken clock, isn't it? It's right twice a day. You're going to get it right at some point. You're going to get one right. Okay. And everyone's going, oh, yeah, that's come from such and such. That's come from that 5-year-old who's been off school for 6 weeks.
I mentioned it. The best one is when they say, let's just use Gus Hamer, for instance. Gus Hamer, it's down to his 50-50 now, whether he stays. He might stay, he might go. It's a 50-50. So you're right, either way. Because if he stays, you're going to say, told you. If he goes, you're going to say, told you. You know what I mean? Just balloon heads. They're just there's no inside. It's there, but there's no inside. That's what they are, just balloon heads.
Well, with the schools reopening this week and the transfer window closing, fingers crossed. We won't hear from them again till Boxing Day. Right, thank you very much for that. Finally, then, I know you could care less, but we're going to do it anyway. Third shirt, Connor, a fan?
Yeah, I really do like it. We don't really see many purple kits, and especially the nice intricate design on it. Like I say, I've liked all 3 kits this season. I think they've done really well. I don't really rate area that much in terms of quality, like the stitching, all that kind of stuff. You tend to get a few problems with them. Obviously, we had Adidas and stuff like that before, which were best in my opinion. But yeah, these 3, the designs have been really good.
Okay. I know I'm not going to bother asking you two because you're not shirt people. So shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. All right. Ipswich then, after the 2-week break. We're not around next week because there's no football to talk about. So you give these three a rest and recharge their batteries. So thank you for joining us in 2 weeks' time when, of course, we'll be watching the Blades live on Friday night football going down to Portman Road. So join us on the Sunday for that. Do drop us a subscribe and a quick like as well. We love making this content for you. It's just three very, very passionate Blades discussing weekly the ups and downs of this fantastic football club. So we're grateful to have you along with us. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest from watching Sheffield United for a week. We'll see you in 14 days' time. Have a good one.